Good afternoon and happy Sabbath. My head is kind of, I don't know, this camera seems lopsided. Okay. Anyway, sorry, it doesn't matter. Happy Sabbath. My name is Claudia Reid, and I hope you like this video. And this is in regards to God's deliverance of people that are going through so much from different things and how He was able to get us out of it, right? So I'm a little nervous, so please forgive me because I was only setting up a live. I didn't expect to go live. So I'm going to go on my TikTok right now, and then I'm going to do both of them together. Okay, so again, my name is Claudia Reed. Thank you for coming to YouTube and also to TikTok. And this is in regards to the power of Thanksgiving, focusing on God's deliverance of people from various forms of distress, meaning that everything that we're going through, God is there for us, and He gets us out of the storm, right? So, and this is coming from my book because I study a little bit of it and I take notes of how I understand it, and I hope that you're able to understand it too as well. So, we have here what is called a call of gratitude, right? And this is what we're talking about, Psalms 107. I'm going to keep this video very short because it's only, I'm going to do probably like 10 minutes or less. So, the Psalms begins with a call to give thanks to the Most High for His goodness and enduring love, right? So the Psalms, this is Psalm 107. The Psalms illustrates God's saving power through four scenarios, like wanderers in the desert, meaning people lost and suffering in the wilderness, and are rescued and led to a place of settlement, meaning that you need help. You're screaming for help. You could be evicted from an apartment. You could lose your house to losing your house to foreclosure. And you're reaching out to God to say, God, please save me. So He will find a solution that you will not end up on the street. But you have to call to Him and ask Him for help, right? So He finds a way. He always finds a way. You might not find a way. You might not know the way, but God finds a way to help you and get you off the ground and lift you to a safer place, a safer place. Now, prisoners in darkness, those who imprisoned and afflicted due to their rebellion or freed from their chains, meaning that you're living in total darkness, depression, right? And you're going through so much, and you're constantly beating yourself up for things that you're doing that you know you're not supposed to do, and you want to get out of sinning, you want to get out of doing bad things. Okay, so this what this is that is God showing God's deliverance that He will deliver you from that sin, that iniquity that pains you so much that you lock yourself up into a jail. Your brain is you're getting fed negativity from other people, saying that you're a bad person, from your family, from your so-called friends, which I wouldn't even consider friends because friends are supposed to be supportive. They're not supposed to be beating you down in your head. You see what I mean? Saying that you're a bad person or that you do things or that you're not, and they're portraying themselves as being perfect when they're not, right? So here we are. So the next one is sick and afflicted, right? So the people near death, people that are feel like they're doing things that they shouldn't be doing, right? Putting themselves in harm's way to be, being near death, and God has healed them from it. Like people near death due to their foolishness and iniquities are healed, right? So we're talking about like drug addicts, drugs, people sticking needles in their arms, fornicating without running around not using protection, um, doing street stuff they shouldn't be doing, and things like that, which cause them a sickness, drinking, drugs, or whatever it is, and they're near death, but they find their way through God and they want to stop doing what they're doing, but they can't. They're weak. The flesh is weak, you know, right? So God, what even though they're doing foolishness, God finds a way and He heals them from it. These are sailors. We're talking about sailors on a boat. They call them seafarers. They're in a storm, right? Sailors caught in a violent storm are calmed and brought to a safe harbor, meaning that you're on this boat and the boat seems like it's sinking, but it's not sinking. The waves are crashing over the boat and you think that you're going to die and you're not, right? So God finds a way, even though He lets that boat rock and is doing this, and you feel like the boat is going to capsize, it's going to turn over upside down, but it never does. But that's how you see it. But you have to put the faith in to say, I'm going to keep going to that destination, and I know I'm not going to turn over. I know I'm not going to capsize because God is with me. And then what he does that, even though you're going through the storm and your boat is going this way and it's so close to you drowning, swaying back, but still, but still, you make it to your destination. This is what life is. God is going to make you go through rough patches. He's going to make it seem like you're not going to get out of it, but you are. You are. So a recurring refrain, meaning that the recurring problems that we receive, the problems that we're going through all the time, that the pain never stops. I know. But it emphasizes the 107, which is Psalms 107, emphasizes of acknowledging God's steadfast love and wonderful works, right? So his reputation reinforces the central message of gratitude, right? So this is what we're supposed to be, because we're constantly saved from different things that we don't even know about, right? Things that we don't even know about. Maybe we might have ate something that might just do us in, but God overstopped that. And we eat the food and we're okay. We digest it well. But maybe at that time, if we weren't reaching out to God, or not even reaching out, but just saying that God sees it as, okay, the food is bad and it can do things to you. Maybe it might end your life. But what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take that part of the food and take it out, and then you can freely eat it. That's why they say you got to bless over your food. You don't know, you see. So, again, the Psalms highlights God's sovereignty over all creation, including nature, human circumstances, like what we go through every day. He can turn deserts into fertile land and fertile lands into desert, meaning that, if you have dry land, if you're a farmer and you have spoiled soil, he can overturn that and turn that soil into a rich soil and make you grow your corn, your peas, your tomatoes, your watermelons, whatever. But he can also turn a fertile land, which is fully stocked, which is healthy soil, where you grow a massive amount of food. He can also turn that into sand as well. That means that what he's saying is that he can give you what you want. He can make you abundant, right? But if you mess with him, he can also turn that abundance into sand, where you lose everything, right? So in regards to a call to wisdom, as Psalms 107, it concludes with a call to wisdom, urging people to consider God's loving kindness. You have to understand that the reason why you're on this earth, the reason why you're thinking things are happening to you and God is not paying attention, by your bills not being paid, you're behind on your rent, you're behind on your light bill, you're behind on everything, you're losing everything, you lose your job. You don't know why these things are happening. We see it as a bad thing because we were ingrained to believe that money solves problems, right? Yes, it does. Of course it does. But it depends on where it comes from, you see. Not all money is good money. You understand? So, excuse me. So that's what it is. God will always be there. Sometimes God gives you provisions, right? Sometimes you want, oh, I want a pizza, I want pizza, I want a Pepsi soda, and I want French fries, all the stuff, right? But God doesn't give you that. You know what He gives you? He gives you fruits and vegetables, right? He doesn't give you what you want. He gives you what you need. And sometimes you're asking God, I can't pay that light bill. I need the money to pay my light bill. Yeah, but guess what? The light is still on. Yes, you're late every month, but the light is still on. And God always gives right at the last moment, when you're at the last leg of things. You're like, oh my gosh. And you receive that notice saying that your light bill is going to get cut off tomorrow. You get money 12 o'clock midnight, and then you're able to call in that payment 1 o'clock in the morning to pay your light bill to keep it on. That's how He works. And that's why we always feel like He's not on time, but He's always on time. This situation that I had, where I needed the money right there, at the 5th of the month, I need this money, and I don't have it, right? The 5th of the month, by 8 o'clock in the morning, you must make this payment, or we're going to do this, right? What happens? What happens, right? 8 o'clock in the morning. Let's say that they say Tuesday, 8 o'clock. No, Monday morning. We want it 8 o'clock in the morning on Monday morning. Then all of a sudden you don't know where the money is. You still crying about it on Saturday. You've been crying about it on Sunday afternoon. And then around 11:59 p.m., clock into 12 a.m. The money's right there in your account. That's it. You see? So just to let you know that Psalm 107 says God will rescue you on every decision, on everything you do. He'll rescue you. And that's how you know. Okay, so again, my name is Claudia D.Reid. Thank you for coming. I had to, this is my, what do you call it, my TikTok. So, sorry, you're going to hear myself. You're going to hear myself saying, I was supposed to stop at 10 minutes and I didn't. I went over time. But I just want to let y'all know that it's important. Please don't think God is not helping. He is. He is helping. And he'll get you through it. You might not like the way he does it, but at least you have your light on. You have food in your fridge. You're sick. You eat all these bad foods and you're still alive eating them. Why is that? Have a nice evening. My name is Claudia Reid, and this is the Soapbox. Have a wonderful evening and happy Sabbath. Shalom.